arterial streets, typically engineering always works on. Those are the Oakwoods, the Clevelands, the Garlands, the Randolphs. Those are engineering projects that end up being reconstructions or mill and overlays. Those are typically very expensive. They take a lot of engineering work and time. We bid them out, and those can cost millions of dollars.
With mill and overlays, you're going in and grinding off the top 2 or 3 inches of the surface, and that's where most of the cracks that occur in pavement, they kind of start at the bottom and they actually work their way up to the surface. So when you take that surface off, the top off, then you can put a new layer on top of it, and in a sense, it stops that crack from making it all the way to the top. The mill and overlays, they're more cost effective because it's not a complete reconstruction, because the base of the existing road is good. Most of the time when we do reconstructions, it's for the purpose of their sub-base is not any good, it's gotten water in it, so it's degraded, and therefore we have to actually dig out the old concrete or the old asphalt.
We also have our asphalt overlay program that our street department does, and we put the street back in the street department. I'm very proud of our crew that we have and our supervisor and Ashley and her team. The commission's provided a nice big asphalt machine. These overlays are not as complex or time-consuming or as expensive as what engineering does. In a perfect world, we would reconstruct every street in the city. We're never going to have that kind of money. But it does give the people immediate relief, and it makes a nice drivable surface that lasts for a long time. We like to say 5 to 7 years. We've been doing this program now for about 5+ years, so we have some examples of where we think the streets have held up pretty well.
We want to stretch the budgeted dollars we have as far as we can go, and and we can't do every street, but we'll try to get the streets that have the most impact, is kind of the word we use. We want high traffic areas, we want high population areas.
We've worked really hard to come up with 5-year lists of asphalt streets and concrete streets and arterial streets to work on in the future. That's a collaborative effort from our street supervisors, from the engineers, from myself, and ultimately from the city council. In the end, the city manager is tasked with putting together a budget and submitting that budget to the city council. So in the end, I do make some decisions based on those 5-year plans that we've come up with, and the needs that are identified by Public Works and Engineering as the most urgent. And I try to prioritize those as the very most important ones that get into the budget. Ultimately, the City Commission gets to take a look at that. We explain that during the process, usually in the meetings in May, and they have an opportunity as they desire to change, update, revise. Many times during the year, they will bring streets to our attention that we will either put on that 5-year list or move up or program for future budgeting.
The journey of a street typically goes through a set of phases, and once a street is selected to be reconstructed or mill and overlay, each one of the project engineers is given a high priority project, and each one that kind of goes through that manner of that way I don't have one engineer with all the priority projects and one with none, so that we can have the projects which are priority first in line, first in design. The project engineer actually puts together what's called a PIP. We call it a PIP, which is a preliminary inspection plan. And so that includes the survey, which we give to our surveyor, our in-house surveyor. And then also that's when the engineer goes out to the site, walks the site, kind of sees the specialties and any kind of nuances of the project. And then also that's when we do our utility locates. And they come out, mark the lines for us, and then that helps both with survey, and then also helps the engineer kind of visualize what kind of project it's going to be. Once that kind of stage of the project is completed, so the engineer will sit down with what utilities are within the area. He's got a topographical survey of the project, and then he also has kind of the vision in his mind of what the end product of that project is going to look like. And so he sits down and he designs that project. Typically it takes 3 months in that ballpark to complete that design. So once the project is designed, that's when the project will go out to bid. The bids are released for 30 days. And in that time frame, we have what's called a pre-bid meeting, and that helps contractors understand the type and scope of the project, and then the project is awarded to the lowest responsive bidder. If there's something that you see out there that needs addressed, see, click, fix, that comes to us, we see it. If there's something we can take action on immediately, we will. If it's something that is a larger issue and isn't just a quick fix, we put it in line as something that needs to be repaired. So use that see, click, fix. It helps us a lot.